Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And now in today's video we are going to do part account tour, part talking a little bit about my progression in the game, and then giving you a chance to vote for who my next rank 4 champion is going to be. As you know, 9.2 just came out. I am working my way through it. I've only got a few paths left, and when I do finish that I will have the generic materials to take up any champion to rank 4. It will be one of my current rank 3s, so that does limit the pool. And then additionally, I'm going to avoid the classes of Cosmic and Mutant because I already have a rank 4 in both of those classes. But other than that, I am quite open to a number of champions on my roster, and I'm going to give you a chance to write in the comments who you think I should rank 4. Now, before we get into the roster breakdown, first thing I want to talk about is that, guys, I have finally achieved balance. And now I don't mean in my life or in the game or work life or anything like that. I'm actually really unbalanced in real life. However, for the first time in a really long time, I have class balance in that every champion that is over rank 3, we're talking rank 3 and rank 4, I have the same amount of every single class. It's exactly 4 champions per class. So you do the math, that means I have 24 champions rank 3 and above, which is pretty darn good for somebody that doesn't spend on the game anymore and who is not playing competitively. You know, I get to Gladiator Circuit, I park in Uru or Gamma. I don't really play competitive Alliance War or Quest anymore. I do the content as soon as it comes out, and I have the greatest resource in Marvel Contest of Champions, which is time and experience. I've been playing this game for 9 years now, and you know, I just know what I'm doing. I've gotten better at the game. I know how to, you know, get the resources and play. And also I have all that time in the past where I've built my roster to this point. So because of that, I'm still having a lot of fun without even spending $1 and not really sweating it with the competitive modes and still having a really good time. So the rest of this video, the structure, we're going to go class by class. I'm going to show you the rank 3s and rank 4s I have in that, tell you a little bit about who the candidates for rank 4 is, and then it's up to you. I want you to go into the comments, leave me at least a name or two of who you think I should go. I'm going to tally up the votes, and then, you know, we're going to see who my next rank 4 is. I am going to ultimately make the decision myself, but I am so on the fence that I am going to really value the feedback that you put in that comment section. So please do participate and let me know who you think I should bring up. I'm not really going for prestige, even though, you know, the EQ scaling that they've talked about in the future may rely on prestige. It might matter a little bit, but that's not going to be the main factor for me. For me, it's all about champions that I love to use, champions that come up in PvE content, things like Epic of Pain and, you know, all those small challenges, the Gauntlet, things like that. Champions who just rinse content like that are my favorites. And then, you know, additionally, just having fun and using champions that I've always enjoyed using. So without further ado, we're going to get into this thing, starting with the Science class. Now, my 4 champions at rank 3 in this class are Silk, Deathless She-Hulk, Photon, and Spider-Ham. Now, you know I am a big fan of the Spider-Verse champions, so we do have Silk and Spider-Ham in there. Very different champions, very powerful in their own right. Photon, an excellent dual threat. And Deathless She-Hulk is just not made like the other Deathless champions. I mean, Thanos is his own beast, but she is so usable and has just relevant utility in the debuffs that she's able to place, and just kind of takes all the things about the original She-Hulk and tames it down a little bit, but gives you just a little bit more control, and you get down to business a little bit faster. Even though her ceiling is a little bit lower, she's just coming up so often. She's like the best champion for Lotan boss as well. I've really enjoyed having her at rank 3, the Deathless Necropolis challenge. Silk, I know a lot of people are really hot on Silk and they have her ranked up, but even though she is all the hype and is really powerful, especially against Mystic champions, I've always personally just enjoyed using her. I had the 6-star very early. She was one of my early rank 3s. Now I have her duped. It's pretty nice. And then Photon, she's currently the one getting my Sig Stones, so I think she would be the most logical choice to rank 4 if I go Science. But the way that my heart is, I think I would probably go with Silk, just again because of the Spider-Verse, and just I've always enjoyed playing her, and imagining those yellow and red numbers as a rank 4 are just astonishing. And then Spider-Ham is my newest rank 3, really powerful champion, really good flow. probably the best straight up power sting champion in the game, which I love because power stings are direct damage. He's also kind of tanky, right? He's got the spider nonsense and the taunt and things like that. So, you know, champions aren't giving a lot of damage to him. Inequity plays into that as well. So even though he's just a little guy, he's actually really good and really tanky in the game, and one of my favorite champions as well. I'm glad he's finally at rank 3. So moving on to skill class. Now here is a tough decision, right? Elsa Bloodstone has sort of been my signature champ for a really long time. Unfortunately, the skill class is, I mean, I guess it's fortunately, the skill class is just, you know, expanding and getting so many interesting champions. You know, like Patriot is one of my favorite new ones that got released, as well as Silver Sable is really cool. And, you know, the list goes on when it comes to all these skill champions. Lumitrix, of course, just came out. But, you know, Elsa is sort of like my heart, right? I've done so much stuff, so much content with her over the years, and she's just sort of been old reliable. Definitely has her pitfalls. She's not as powerful, and like some of the things that used to be mildly annoying are a little bit more annoying with her, like going up against Unfazed. Like just give her a stun off of that, you know, that reparry that she does after, like make her like Kate Bishop, give them the passive stun after it, because Unfazed is just so annoying. And then additionally, you know, you do need to get evaded once before you get your cold snap up, but I do really like the way she does damage. She has really good flow, and just could very easily go to rank 4. So she's definitely up there, but I do think that Chioth, if I go skill, is just slightly above her. I've just found Chioth to be so versatile and such an interesting champion, right? She can counter miss at some times. She can, you know, counter unstoppable at some times. She has really good bleed. She's got cleanse, which in a lot of ways is more powerful than just straight up purify. And in long fights, she just kind of ramps up. She's got that massive reach on her heavy attack, and I just really like the champion. She's one of the best design skill champions and just has so much utility in that class. Really big regen on the rank, on the special 3, by the way, like very not often talked about feature of her kit. So she probably takes the cake, but Black Cat and Black Panther Civil War also do come in handy a lot. I mean, Black Panther Civil War is already Sig 120. He's a little bit of a nuke, but he does kind of work in not just nuking situations. If you're willing to kind of do a couple cycles of his burst damage, you can still get a lot done, and he's relatively tanky, has a little bit of cleanse, plus is a bleed champion, which is always nice. And then Black Cat is situational. However, there are many situations where she does work. Many things that you don't even think about do have some kind of ability accuracy that can be reduced, and if that's the case, she gets big yellow numbers, big bleeds, big burst damage off of the sabotage, and it's just really, really fun to play as well. So she's also one of my personal favorites. It's kind of nice that she's an exclusive pool champion, but I have her at Sig 40, and I guess she could go up, but it's really, if we're going skill, it's a battle between Elsa and Chioth. So far, you know, our candidates are kind of like Silk for science, and then maybe Chioth, maybe Elsa for, you know, skill. So keep that in mind when you're voting, that that's kind of where I'm leaning for these two classes. Now moving on to Mutant, this class will not provide a rank 4 because I already have rank 4 Professor X. As you know, my first rank 4 gem was a Mutant gem, which at the time really stung because I didn't really want to bring up a champ like Sinister or Onslaught to rank 4. However, I had a little bit of an epiphany remembering when I was a young lad, I don't know, when I was younger and I played, you know, with 6 stars more often, Professor X was always one of my favorites. It was sort of a fan favorite of Vega, who's one of my good friends in the game as well. And, you know, Vega and I actually chatted a lot about this, and he really pushed me over the edge to finally just commit to Professor X, and I couldn't be happier with him. He is Saga right now, so he makes my war team, and he did the Saga incursions with me, which was just really fun. And, you know, aside from like Battlegrounds, he is seriously one of the most powerful mutants in the game. Now, the other ones to round it out are sort of like the heavy hitters of the current game. I don't have Dazzler ranked up yet. She's definitely a future rank 3, but, you know, Onslaught, Deadpool X-Force, Mr. Sinister, just extremely powerful champions, especially for Battlegrounds. I used Deadpool X-Force a little bit in the Epic of Pain, which was just a really good usage for him there. First time ever really using him. And Sinister, you know, not duped, so He's just going to stay rank 3 for quite a while, I think, until I can manage to get that dupe. But yeah, Onslaught also going to stay rank 3. Professor X already rank 4, so we won't be seeing a rank 4 from this class. But I am happy that the mutant class has kind of turned around. We're about to get, Apocalypse added into there. And then Gentle is actually showing up to be a pretty good mutant as well. And, we all know Dazzler is, literally dazzling people right now. So she will be a future rank 3 for me. But as it is, this is going to be my mutant class for the time being. Pretty happy with it, and we're going to keep it with these 4. Next up, Cosmic. So I have Scream at rank 4. She's ultimately one of my favorite champions in the whole game. I was really excited to use the generic materials that I got to take her up to rank 4. Just absolutely love her as a champion. This was like my first actual tier 7 basic usage was on her, so I did choose her out of the blue amongst all the other champions and the other classes. I went with her. I think she is so fun to play. I love the comic book run, and I've talked about her a lot on this channel. Check out the previous videos if you want to learn a little bit about Scream as well. And then Deathless Thanos, say what you want, he is extremely powerful. And Serpent, I know I have like the regular things that everybody does. Those 2 champions are just so huge. But when it comes to content, I mean, Serpent is practically unkillable. It's basically, he's like the Doctor Doom of the modern era when it comes to cosmic champions. And like, he has so much armor. He has a death immunity. He basically, you can't crit against him as well. He doesn't die easily. His stats are so high. And on top of that, he counters evade and miss at the same time, which are like 2 really disruptive factors. And his style is just spamming specials, and then he ramps up and he basically, as I said, becomes unkillable, and he just deals out a massive amount of damage. So he's not doing anything flashy in short fights, but I feel like the Ordeal, right, that new Grandmaster's Gauntlet, Epic of Pain, who was the most commonly used champion for everything? It was this guy. He appeared on one of the paths for sure for Cosmic and Skill in the Epic of Pain for like 90% of the people that I know, if not, anyone who had him decided to use him. Then of course in the Ordeal, he was one of the best champions overall. He is the modern Doctor Doom as a 7-star. I'm just going to say it. And then on top of that, he's a really annoying defender. Obviously, there's some counters now. A lot of people have learned to fight him, but you put on just a really powerful ability set, an easy to use sort of foolproof way of using him. And then on top of that, the armor, right? He's just so tanky. It reminds me of how Doom just feels like you're never critting against him. You're never doing any damage against him. The one thing about him is that, a lot of Mystic champions do have tools to shut him down. So, he does have ways to go down, and you're obviously not going to use him against Mystic champions when you're fighting, but almost any other scenario, this guy's an absolute beast on offense, and just an extremely powerful champion. And then my fun one, of course, is Venompool. I love symbiotes, and he was my first Cosmic rank 3, which was a little bit of a meme at the time, but I do still really like this guy. He's got the big bleed and, the various effects, and he just ramps up well in big fights, and he does really well against techs, especially ones with armors. He can just omnom those armors up. It doesn't count as a nullify or an armor break, and he just will like continually top up on regen. So any tech champion that has armor up buffs, he's basically unkillable, and it's just so fun to play, right? And he's unique. I happen to get him duped. That's why he's at rank 3. So those are the Cosmics. We will not be looking for a rank 4 here, but I do enjoy having the ones that I have where they are. Now, next up is Tech, and I do have to say that I think Tech is the most likely class for me to pick my next rank 4, and it's probably going to be between Prowler and Ironheart. I just absolutely adore these 2 champions. They are utility monsters, right? Like, with Prowler, he's got a little bit of evade, a little bit of falter, sort of countering when it comes to that type of stuff. He has the no critting ability and the ruptures. He's got the Incinerate that synergizes with the Sentinel Relic. That Incinerate will just stay up forever, and you can do massive burst. His power control is really good. Whenever they throw their specials, they go back down to 0 power. This used to be a really powerful synergy that people would use on, I think, Vision, and now this is just in his base kit. So he really comes up a lot. He's also got the ability accuracy addition so that he can take on Domino, no problems. And you know what? He is a Spider-Verse tangent champion, which I personally love. However, Ironheart, I just think the tracking and her ability to not have any abilities trigger through block, big regen, big armors, big bulwark as well. She's somebody I don't mind giving more Sig Stones to. You know, like Prowler's already Sig 200, so he would make sense prestige-wise to go up first. But for Ironheart, she's Sig 80, and I do feel like I will continue to give her Sig Stones so that she will, you know, help me out with that prestige chase, which may be important now, I don't know. Overall, just like if I need to go into some situation and bring in a tech champion, I almost always pick her because she has a way to make the fight work. And you know, she's not just like feeding incinerates to all champions, because sometimes mutants don't like it when you incinerate them. You have the chance to go to Rupture. It's not quite as powerful as Scorpion, but I do love that you have like energy or physical, and you know, both of those debuffs depending on the situation you want to go into. If you're going up against, you know, Bishop or you know, Onslaught or Havoc or something like that, you have the armor up for Havoc, but you can just totally utilize the Rupture and not run into trouble. It's a really creative way to deal with of countering mutants, and I just really enjoy playing her. So she is a champion that is very much at the top of the list for rank 4, as is Prowler. And then my two Spider heroes here, we've got Penny Parker, we've got Spider-Man. Really good champions, right? I love Stark Enhanced. I have found that as things have gotten a little bit more complicated, he is just a damage machine. But you know, there's more and more rank 3s. He's going to need to be rank 4 to continue to be as dominant as he is right now. You know, with the stun lock, the power drain, the relic stuns, and everything that he can do. Big special 2, lots of big yellow numbers. The one thing I've never liked about him is once he drops below 50, you lose a ton of damage. So he is a champion that loves potions, and in a longer quest, you do need to top off all the time, and that just limits his use a little bit. Plus, he does have the passive evade, which will sometimes get in your way. So I'm probably one of his #1 fans, like up there with Legacy and some other guys, but he's going to stay rank 3 for now. I'm really focusing more on Prowler or Ironheart, so those are the ones I'm thinking in this class. Penny Parker is my most fresh rank 3. I chose her again out of Spider-Verse reasons, and really powerful defender still. I think, you know, Hulkling is locked at 6-star, at least for the time being. Who knows, maybe they'll make an announcement that will invalidate that statement soon. I don't think so though. And either way, Penny Parker is really good on offense too, very tanky, can basically take 0 block damage, and one special 2 can really make things happen. So yeah, really like Penny Parker, one of my favorite champions as well. Finally have her as a 7-star, and she rounds out that class. Now finally, Mystic. This is a tough one to pick because I do like all of these champions. I may want to be investing in making this wider with more rank 3 mystics before I do a rank 4 mystic. But that said, Enchantress has become one of my favorite champions. I've used her a little bit in Act 9. And listen, she is not perfect, especially on offense. You have to want to use her, and it's a lot of work. But when it works, it is one of the most fun things for me in the game to do, because her playstyle is so unique, and you're just calling out all these random spells and trying to keep them balanced. And then if you get it exactly how you like it and you start spamming your special 2s, she's unkillable and does a massive amount of damage, and it's so fun, right? I have lots of videos on Enchantress, and I really would consider her rank 4 just because she's kind of one of my signature champions, and I've advocated for her both on offense and defense. I do really like the defensive kit as well. It does trip you up. There is some RNG and some BS sometimes where you just cannot get through it, but overall I think it's such a creative design. It's one of the crowning achievements of the RPG team is creating this champion, getting her released, and having her in the ecosystem of this game. In my opinion, I think she is one of the greatest creations of all time when it comes to MCOC, and I just massively respect that, and that's why I would take her to rank 4. That said, Kushala, America Chavez, Werewolf, they are undeniably some of the most powerful Mystic champions in the game, and I could easily see any of them going to rank 4, to be honest. Depending on what the weather is that day, I may just go for it, right? So, you know, again, to kind of summarize, In the science class, we've got Silk, kind of the front runner there. For skill, Elsa is kind of the front runner with Chielte a little bit. Then when it comes to tech, I think Ironheart is my front runner, but Prowler is definitely a close second. And of all the champions, I think it's going to be one of the tech champions. So just, you know, when you're voting, keep that in mind, that I'm very much deciding between Prowler and Ironheart here. And then finally, when it comes to Mystic, again, any of these can be good for me, but I think that Enchantress slightly takes the cake for my top choice for Mystic champion. So anyway, now it's your turn. Go into the comments. Let me know who should I rank for. I'm going to finish this content in the next, 48 hours or so. And whenever I can get my computer set up again, I will record the results and let you know who rank 4 number 3 is. So with that, hope you've enjoyed this video. It's good to be back, and hope you're all doing well, having a good spring if you live in the Northern Hemisphere. And with that, I guess that's all I have for you today. So thanks for checking it out. Enjoy 9.2, and I'll catch you in the next one.